Hey, happy Friday. My daughter's waving back at me like she must know, she already knows how I get down. And I'll be like, hey. So, anyway, happy Friday, everyone. We made it through another week of whatever we went through, but we still made it. We accomplished that part, even if that was all we accomplished was making it through the week. So, here's to happy Friday. Um, So today I want to talk a little bit about Hear Their Voices, which is my organization I'm co-founder of with Amber Blankenship. Um, so that everybody gets a slight idea of who we are, um, as well as talk to you guys about trafficking. Because I had a conversation with a parent this morning that I wanted to address to everyone. So as you guys know, I'm Kay and my partner Amber. We actually met a year ago, a little over a year ago, was our little friendship anniversary uh, when Cody Bigsby went missing in Hampton Roads. So Cody Bigsby was a 4-year-old who went missing in the middle of the night from his home. He is still missing. He has not been located. It's been over a year. He went missing January 31st, 2022. Um, that was the day he was reported missing anyway. So I began to search that day. A few days later, I met Amber actually in the swamp searching for Cody. And her and her husband dived into the swamp. And it was a whole group of us, but I was the only one who dived in the swamp with them, not realizing that they were prepared to be in swamps. And I had never really searched for anybody before, and I don't really even like outside like that. So I was not prepared to jump in the swamp, but I went anyway. I just was gone. So we searched for Cody, and we continue to put on searches for Cody and search for Cody because he deserves to come home, just like everybody else who goes missing deserves to come home. You know, uh, that progressed to Hear Their Voices. Hear Their Voices began to search for, we searched for numerous amount of people since that day. We put on a lot of community searches. We feed the homeless. We were feeding the homeless every week, and then we had to go back to every 2 weeks. Now we're at once a month because everything we do is based on community and funding, and we're paying out of pocket. And I'm a single mom, and Amber is a stay-at-home mom who has lupus. So nothing comes easy for either one of us. So, but we do and make the most because God says that He will not provide. He will not put you in a place where He doesn't provide you to be. So if you're supposed to be there, He's going to provide a way for you to be there. So that's how we made it this far. When people are like, they keep winning because we keep winning. I don't care what anybody said. We keep winning. But it's because we're winning walking through our own doors. And people have to realize that your door is your door, my door is my door, and what's meant for me isn't going to miss me. No matter how hard you want to take it, it's mine. But all of this is all a part of what I've learned through this process because it's been a real spiritual journey. And you have to, in so many ways, align yourself spiritually because if not, you're finding people who are deceased or um, mental health or, you know, there's runaways and then there's trafficking. And so you're dealing with so many different elements. So you have to remain grounded. And God is what keeps us grounded. You know, we don't search like anyone else. We are breaking into a field where there's not too many African American people or women. So we're both African American women. Um, so we're going into a field that is predominantly not ours. So we're breaking barriers and really out here trying to hold it down. But we catch a little slack, or it's those women shouldn't be in the woods. Um, by themselves, because we're in the woods. We're deep in the woods. We're wherever we need to be, wherever God calls us to be that day. Because I never search or go out without praying on it first. If he says sit down, I have had to learn to sit down. And the days that he was like, be out there, I know I'm supposed to be out there for purpose because everything has a time and alignment. Um, so in the beginning, I did not know that. Um, so there was days I felt like I shouldn't be out there, but I pushed myself to go anyway because I'm like, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. If I stay home, I'm giving up. No, I went out there and something happened that shouldn't have happened because I shouldn't have been there. So, it's all a learning process, learning to listen to your intuition and using discernment when you're doing certain things. But anyway, so we've grown. We are not yet a 501c3, so everything we do comes community based. And I get a lot of, well, the police already do this. The police already do this. So why do we actually need you guys? But that comes from people who don't realize that the police actually are so backed up and so overworked that they'll take the missing person report, and depending on the circumstances and the person, it'll go further, but not every case makes it much further than taking a missing person report. So the police do not set up community searches and uh, provide certain support and putting up flyers and things like that throughout neighborhoods. We do door-to-door searches. Like I said, we're in the woods, we're everywhere, as well as being a support to families. Because it's a lot. It's a lot. So we always say we stand in the gap between law enforcement and community. So in between that is Hear Their Voices, me and Amber. And there's other organizations out here that do the same, and it's a wonderful thing. So if you have organizations like this in your community, please support them. Please go out and support them because it's major and it's so necessary. There's so many people who wouldn't be found if it wasn't for organizations because people don't know that it's okay for them to set up their own search parties or that they can take the lead and do this because they think that once they report someone missing that everything's handled by law enforcement. So we bridge that gap. For one, a lot of people in communities do not like to speak to the police. So we get tips that the police do not get. We get information that the police do not get. And if we find that it needs to be turned over, we turn it over to law enforcement. But a lot of people will call us before they call the police. So that's another part of us standing in that gap in community. So today I was talking to a parent and they said, well, I guess since you do this, just tell me the real. Is trafficking a real issue on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm here to tell you guys, it's a 10. It's a 10, okay? Trafficking is so real. It is really, really real. It is one of the biggest fears I have because they're not coming to your house. They're not meeting your child at school. They're coming straight to your child's bedroom, straight to your child's phone, wherever, if they game online, if they're on YouTube, if they're on TikTok, or if they're on anything that allows people to have access, they're coming directly to them that way. So you may be in your bedroom while there's a predator on the phone with your child, who your child thinks is the same age as them. So it's very important to educate your children on those type of issues. I was actually talking about how it should be a part of what's implemented in school. Like when your child goes to health and they learn different things in health about their own bodies and everything, and sex ed, trafficking should be a part of that now because it's becoming so major. One of the biggest things, for one, is not just young ladies. It's boys too, because trafficking can be in different, there's different types of trafficking. So they can traffic the boys to smuggle drugs, to traffic them for labor, slavery, so many different things. So many different things. Um, so, and then the girls end up in sex trafficking. And sometimes they don't even leave the area. They don't even leave the area, but you really have to be on top of everything and keeping that child's picture out there for everyone to know that that child's even missing. You know, I deal with a lot of missing kids or teenagers that are considered runaways. I hate that term. I hate the term runaway because the reality of the situation is they're a child in the streets. You know, they're not equipped for whatever it is they're going to face, whether they put themselves there or not, you know. So you run away. And even if you ran before, you run away once, you run away twice. So the second time, the police really not looking for you because now you're listed as a known runaway. So they're like, oh, they'll come, Susie will come back home, Janet will come back home, you know, we'll just wait. And they never make it back home. But before we realize there's really an issue, it's already been weeks. It's already been weeks. So we're weeks behind someone who trafficked this child. And that's a major problem. Major. I always say if first 48, if they feel like the first 48 is the most vital for homicide, then why is the first 48 not the most vital for missing people? It should be the same because the first 48 is so important. It's so important. But some places don't even let you report a missing for 48 hours. Law enforcement is getting a lot better with taking missing person report before 48 hours, but it still really doesn't make it out unless there's reason that you can come up with for imminent danger or because of their age or if they were stolen and you've seen it, if you have a tag number or identification for a vehicle. You know, there's just so many things. So we actually need to get an alert out that's statewide that just says this person's missing. It doesn't have to be an Amber alert, Ashanti alert, any other type of alert under anyone's name, just statewide alert. I remember in August, the little boy, and I cannot think of what his name is, he went missing in Washington State. I think he was 2, and they found him actually in December. He was in the water. But when he went missing, the state sent out a statewide alert that triggered on everybody's phone, like the weather alert or like the broadcast alert. So that should go out for every missing person just to make people aware that that's going on, especially with children and teens. So, like I was saying, the missing kids, they run away. And you're considered a runaway, so it's not that serious because you ran away. But you run into the wrong arms one day. You leave home and you run into the wrong arms. You run into the arms of the predator because you think you're meeting someone your age that you've been talking to online for like 6 months who make you feel comfortable, who's made you feel beautiful, who's made you feel like your parents don't understand, so I got you. So you leave. And most of the time they don't take their phones. They have them leave their devices home. Most of the girls that I've seen leave and meet or end up in trafficking have left in pajamas with no phone. Just basically gone. And that's because there's no way to track them if they leave their devices at home. So it's real conversations for the real world to have with your kids because it's dangerous and it's increasing. The number of missing kids just in the state of Virginia has increased by 49% in 5 years. In 5 years, it's increased by 49%. Some of those years was COVID. We weren't even supposed to be outside. So for that to be the case, it's really serious. So I just wanted to get on and address that, with you guys and just talk to people who don't really understand how serious it is. So please, if you need information, if you want information, If you want to talk some more, if you would like to add to what I'm saying, um, just reach out because it's important and it's a vital conversation that needs to be had. So I'm here for it. I'm here to educate. I'm here to help in any way I can. And I'm here to search if your child goes missing. I would actually like to eventually do more with search, but it's a process. And it's one I'm definitely working on because it's my journey. It's my assignment. So thank you guys for tuning in. You have a great rest of your Friday and enjoy your weekend the best that you know how. But at the same time, take a moment to just talk to your children as well about trafficking and going missing and, just leaving the house to meet anyone because it's serious and it's happening to all of our babies, all of them. And it's happening way too often. And even when they do come back, they don't come back the same. Mentally, because they've been through so much. It's just changed. Your whole life's changed. So have those conversations with your kids. Listen and hear what they have to say about it too. See what they know about it before you even ask, before you even tell them. See what they already know. Because that's how I started the conversation with mine. I was like, what do you know about trafficking? So just go from there with the conversation. And you guys have a great weekend.